This project is located in Richmond, London. Walking along the Thames, we have on the right-hand side where the old palace used to be, and we passed the pub, the White Swan, on a road that linked the palace to the crane point on the river. So the house was built originally in 1810 with a group of 5-6 houses, all terrace houses, all identical layouts. That's why it's been listed as a Grade 2 listed building. The value, the character of the house, the importance of it is in the innovative approach of the architect at the time in the early 19th century, where these large windows were completely pocketed into the wall. They disappear completely on the lower ground floor and the upper ground floor. And that's something we want to preserve. We want to preserve because they are original windows, as it were. For this project, obviously, we have to develop our own conservation approach. But then also we have an element of restoration, an element of rehabilitation, and also we have additions. Assertive additions, for instance, the new structure we added to the building. So we wanted to expose it and celebrate it to show what's been added. Differential additions, for instance, the rear extension with a large 5 meters high door. Assertive additions, for instance, are the new ceiling structure, beams and columns. We intentionally expose them and made them visible so we can read the history of the house. We don't want to interfere, conceal them, we want to express them. Regarding a differential addition, for instance, is the rear extension. We infill the gap between the little existing room at the top, supported by one single column. But then we added an extension as a double height space. It's differential because basically we don't want to celebrate it, we just infill it and keep it with the same materials as existing to blend in. So regarding this rear extension, in a way, is subservient with respect to this original idea from the architect of this sort of steel or cast iron steel column, which at the time in 1810 was an innovative material. So we want to celebrate that as well. But adding this very big statement with this 5 meters high pivot door. So the idea of the kitchen, or the idea behind the kitchen design, is to incorporate certain structures in our elements that don't compete with the rest of the architecture. But then the details are fundamental here. For instance, the way the doors open and hinge. The sliding worktop for the island. The pocket doors of the vertical units. They conceal and they hide behind the sides. That is all part of the idea of minimize clutter and maximize the visual impact. The idea of the flooring of the main entrance was to incorporate some mosaic tiles to replicate the original ones that didn't exist anymore. So we wanted to bring that back, but obviously with contemporary tiles. The idea was to create like a contrast between the circulation area to the more functional areas of the kitchen and the dining area. As part of the conservation approach, we researched the existing technology applied in the building for the different components, and the lime mortar was one of them. So we use the same technology. All technologies are similar to compatible to the existing fabric of the building that we wanted to conserve. And then we apply this lime mortar, which allows for the walls to breathe and to perform as originally intended. Energy efficiency was a key factor in the brief as established by the client, but minimal intervention on the fabric of the building was paramount. So it has to be subservient to all of that. But we managed to incorporate underfloor heating throughout in all levels without having to change or affect the existing structure. The importance here is the preservation and conservation of the existing structure, but bringing it up to modern standards. As a team at L Plus Architects, we feel very confident taking over this kind of projects because we went through the experience of assessing the past values, the current needs, and the future needs of the project. We are very happy with the result, and I'm glad to say that the client is happy too.